Well, hello everybody. This is my brand new channel, Jake Talks History, and today is Ukraine Independence Day, and I have, for my first episode, some massive news out of Ukraine, and let's just get right on into it. I'm not going to be editing anything on this channel, so it's just my very much kind of like pure, I guess, reaction, whatever you really want to call it, kind of me going through all this with you guys and giving in my 2 cents. And to kind of start off with today, I have 4 different tabs open. We'll be going through each of them, with the last one being Volodymyr Zelensky's public address to the Ukrainian people, and especially on Ukraine Independence Day. So here is our first post from Nexta on Twitter. They are fairly what do you call them? They are fairly non-biased. They report news, and today is some big news. India's prime minister or president, I'm not sure, Modi visited Ukraine, and here they reported that there was an offering of mediation between Zelensky and Putin. As you may know, India is a part of BRICS, which includes Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. So India has kind of been playing a bit of a balancing game with their partners. And here we have a picture with Modi and Volodymyr Zelensky. And apparently they signed some bilateral cooperation agreements. I don't really have any information on those agreements. But also, in Russia, there was allegedly a few ISIS supporters who captured a prison, and they were later killed. This is where it happened, over here near Volgograd, previously Stalingrad, in a Russian penal colony. They were killed, all 4 of them. There was allegedly 4 of them, and they were killed in this kind of in this taking over of this penal colony. Here, this is Ukraine's Independence Day. They marched and all that in Kiev, but we will not be watching the full 55 seconds. As you can see, just on the bottom here, they are marching and playing the national anthem. Here, right here, the special forces eliminated the 4 prisoners who somehow captured this prison. They were holding hostages and stuff like that, and they were killed. Apparently, there was this report here. I'm only going to be going through Nexta because I don't really want to trust anything else, because Nexta is kind of what a lot of people use and they find it legitimate. I'll be going through this new sanction package on the next tab over here, and then the new military aid bill. But apparently, there's been spottings of the dead Wagner PMC Prigozhin. People have been spotting him. Like, people think now that he's alive. We don't, like, this is some major news if he didn't actually die. But Prigozhin, like, see right there, Prigozhin, just in a park. But then here's a guy that also looks like him too. Like, people think that he's alive, and that's what kind of social media is saying. Here's more of things about the whole prisoner thing that happened here. And in some news here, the Ukrainian forces, they have captured Lebdivka in the Kursk region. Don't mind that. I don't know what that it was doing. But here, if you take a look right here, so Ukraine apparently is going to get some shipments of drones. And this is what drones can do. This base is also near Volgograd, Stalingrad, formerly known as Stalingrad, Russia. Here's the airfield. This was then. And then they somehow were able to strike this. And that's it now. Just take a look. You can see the scorch. And if you take a look right here, apparently there were like new protective hangar bays to protect the planes. That didn't do anything. The planes, there's a ton of planes destroyed. This airbase has been rendered absolutely useless. There was some like repair facility right here where my cursor is showing, and they leveled it. Like, you can even see over here, like, you can see like the scorch, and apparently this fire is still not out. Like, it's still expanding and growing every single day. And then here is, and then so over the last 6 days there has been a oil depot. I can't really remember, but it's like one of the largest oil depots. 6 days of burning. Look at this video right here. This is a fuel car, as you can see, driving right next, like this. This is the major fire, and it has been 6 days since it has struck this oil depot, and it is continuously burning as it moves from fuel tank to fuel tank. It has killed many Russian firefighters who have been trying to put this fire out, and it is still expanding. The fire hasn't even reached the kerosene tanks yet. They have only reached the oil and gas tanks. It has yet to reach the kerosene tanks, and once it reaches those, that is probably going to be it for that oil depot. I believe it already is it. It's not really going to be doing much, but you can see a Ukrainian helicopter shooting at appears to be a Russian UAV, and they, I believe, ended up striking it. Yep, as you can see right there, it exploded. That was a Russian UAV that was flying through the skies, and that's all I got from Nexta. So we're going to be closing out this tab here. Here we're going to be going to Yahoo News, where it kind of just gives me a bit of a rundown of what happened. Apparently Ukraine withdrew some positions, and then there was a sinking of a ferry, which was reported on by some other YouTube channels, but it doesn't really matter. But there was a ferry in the Kerch Strait. Here we're gonna go to the deep state map. Right here is the Kerch Strait, and then right here is the famous Kerch Bridge. But right over here, you can see this port, and this is a fuel ferry port. Like, this is a port that's a ferry that has been transferring fuel from mainland Russia to Crimea up to their operations down here near Mariupol in the Zaporizhia Oblast and all in the Kherson Oblast, all those places. And last night, I believe, the Ukrainians launched a drone strike and dismantled and destroyed that ferry that was carrying all of those oil and supplies. I believe there actually was a video on Nexta about it, but I wasn't paying attention enough. Because if you want to go check that out, you can. They're on Twitter. But here, we will also be looking right here. U.S. has a new sanctions package, which now just expanded the individuals from moving around and having assets and stuff like that. So, yeah. And then Norway is now going to start producing artillery shells for Ukraine, which is some big news, as artillery has been a major part of this war, especially with Ukraine's Kursk offensive, where they have rapidly expanded all this territory. They have taken around over 1,000 kilometers square kilometers, I believe. That is more than what Russia has taken. Their, like, here in their failed Kharkiv offensive, what they've tried to gain back in the Donbass over here. Like, Ukraine has captured more territory in what, 11 days, 10 to 11 days than what they have captured than what Russia has captured in like 4 months of fighting. And they did it a lot quicker with a lot less losses. So yeah, that's what artillery can do if you can use it as a screen. Using artillery as a screen is really, really well. Really, really good. Sorry. Biden announced a new aid package for Ukraine. This is, 125 million. This apparently will be counter drone equipment because Russia's drones have been striking a lot. And then, so we don't know what's actually in this aid bill. It's not, people always get this confused. We are not sending them cash. We are sending them our old equipment that has been sitting, building up dust, and we are finding what is worth. So we're picking a ton of old equipment that is worth about 125 million and we're shipping it. People always get that confused because the thing is now we have space to rebuild more and better stuff. People always get that confused. So we are not just sending them straight cash. We are sending them equipment that adds up to that amount. But they think it's also going to have anti-armor missiles and then mobile rocket systems. I don't know which kind. That would be nice. And then apparently air defense missiles, probably for the Patriot missile system or the other anti-air systems. The Patriot is the more common known one over there. Norway said that they were going to give artillery shells that work for the NATO artillery that they have out there, so like the howitzer and all that. Like I said, Ukraine has been shifting more towards the NATO supply, which is a lot better than the Soviet supply. As you can see, there's 122 and 152 Soviet caliber shells that Ukraine has in their stockpile, but they're running out, so now they're using the 155 millimeter. And then here's just Ukraine confirming that they sunk that ferry in the Kerch or Crimea ferry thing. So now let's go to Deep State. This is a great map that you can use for just kind of seeing their progress. And if we look back, so yesterday, we're going to be looking at the Kursk offensive first. This is yesterday, and here's today. We can see that in Sudza, they have consolidated their gains. I mean, we don't know where they are, but like Ukraine is suspected to be up here. Like they have a few arms reaching out here. But one thing, there's a little bit of a shift right here near Kornivo, just south of Kornivo, along the Sem River. So most people don't even know there's a river here, but there is, because you just, when you scroll out, you can barely even see it. I mean, you can kind of see it. It's right here. But there are Russian forces in here, in Glushkovo. There's Russian forces all over here. However, if you zoom in, there's bridges. You would think they can escape, right? No. So Ukraine has fully cut them off right here. They cannot escape. There are pontoon bridges right here, but they don't go anywhere. There's no roads, and they blew up every single bridge. Ukraine blew up every single bridge along the Sem River in the Kursk Oblast. So there are Russian troops stuck here in Glushkovo, and over here you can see the gray area. Ukraine more than likely owns up to the Sem River, but they have started an advancement into Tikino, and I believe they've also started to push out from Snegnost. I believe they started to push out here towards Glushovo, more than likely. Like, by the day all this stuff is changing, that's how rapid and fast they have moved. So yeah, there are a few Russian battalions in, I believe there's about a Russian battalion or two in the Glushkovo region that has been completely cut off and cannot escape, because Ukraine has destroyed bridge after bridge after bridge. So Ukraine's kind of idea here apparently is to create a sanitary zone, which is nice, but I don't really know what their defensive lines want to be. I mean, the most perfect defensive line could be along the Sem right here, Sem River, and then up into the Kursk like power plant, and then maybe back down to the major highway here. along, I think this like the E303 or something like that, among this like major highway. If they could get all of that, that would be like best scenario. But you can kind of see there are starting to be Russian brigades and battalions coming up to defend this region. Right now, they project about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 battalions slash brigades in the Kursk region. And then you can also see down here, Ukraine has started to push back into Russian gains in this oblast here. I can't really remember what this oblast is called, but I'm not going to take the time to go read through it. But there is an oblast here that Ukraine is starting to push out of, and I believe that's been it. Otherwise, yeah, so kind of over here in like Volgograd, yeah, there we go, Volgograd. The airport is over here. That's been absolutely destroyed, and this is Volodymyr Zelensky's speech. I don't know if you guys want to pause and read it here, but you know, he talks about visiting Indian Prime Minister Modi, and like a peace summit and bilateral agreements. I believe, yeah, he talks about his Flag Day and all about, not Flag Day, the first Flag Day and the independence of Ukraine. So that is all that I got for you guys, and just kind of let me know on how this first episode worked out. It's not a lot, but you know, I'm just trying to inform more people. That's all I am doing on this channel. I really could care less if you subscribe or even like the video. At least I can get this information out to you guys as kind of as quick as possible. I don't really know when these will be posted, maybe every couple of days. I don't know. I just want to get this information out because I know a lot of people don't care, but I believe people should. And that this new Kursk offensive will definitely be a major turning point in people's perspective of this war, and definitely helping possibly just people getting more informed. That's all I'm really here to do. And I'll be covering other stories. Like right now, there isn't much coming out of Israel and Iran and all that because Iran said it, and then like the world took one deep breath and have held it ever since Iran said that they were going to launch a strike. We just kind of been waiting and waiting and waiting. And reports are that they're still going to strike, but I don't know. Who knows? Who knows if they are? But we just have to wait and see. I will be live streaming, possibly if something just absolute major happens and it just has to get reported on. But like I said, probably like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's when these videos are going to release. So, you know, I hope you all have a great day. And with this kind of impromptu thing, I might do a bit of, well, I don't know. I might fix some things up, see what I want to do. But I thank you all for watching. And I hope that you all have a great day. Bye-bye.